In addition to the the standard, 8-ball, 9-ball straight pool on a pocket table where you're shooting the cue ball against object balls, and you're trying to pocket the balls, and depending on the game you're playing, the goal is to get the balls off of the table into the pockets. There's also a different paradigm shift completely when you get into playing things like sagu, that's a 4-ball in Korean. Sagu is the name that I remember. And the whole thing is that the table starts with there's no pockets. And the game that I was playing, basically, I think there's 3 balls on the table, or pretend maybe 4 balls on the table if you're playing with an opponent. And the goal is to there's 2 object balls, and the goal is to be able to hit the first object ball and use your kind of like your cue ball to bounce off of that ball, and then get the cue ball to go around the table and strike the other ball, and that gives you a point. So when I first got familiar or exposed to this game, I had seen tables before. I never understood the thought behind what could be happening on a table with no pockets. But once I got into the game and started learning the mechanics of how to play 4-ball without pockets, it started off as like kind of early learning, like, oh wow, this is different. But then what happened was I started realizing the technical nature of the game. Wow, it's pretty difficult. It's challenging. At least for me it was, where you can imagine you have a ball on one end of the pool table, and you have a ball sitting on another end of the pool table, and you have your cue ball in your hand, or you have your cue ball on the table, wherever it is at that moment, and you have to shoot into the first ball and get your cue ball to bounce off of that ball and go around the table and get it to hit the other ball, which may be on the other end of the table, and that gives you a point, and you keep going. So as I was playing this game over and over and over again, and the size of the cue ball and the object balls are bigger than the normal billiards pocket pool table, that they're actually larger in size. By playing that, at first it was difficult. My brain was hurting. It's almost like playing one pocket pool on a pool table, where I remember playing that game on a pocket pool table. My brain was hurting, literally thinking too much about how to do things. The 4-ball had me in the similar mindset as far as difficulty and how to perform and get points. But over time, starting to get the hang of the playing the 4-ball, it became fun. Like, how many times in a row can you actually score points? And then not only that, once I started looking at others in that pool hall, like especially in South Korea, there in this particular pool hall, there was only one pocket pool table, and every other table was a 4-ball table without pockets. So watching others who were very skilled at this game, and the types of bank shots and types of combinations that people were making, and the way they were drawing on the ball and following the ball, and seeing angles, and it was really mind-blowing. Slowly, as I started playing more and more, I was able to start creating some of those things, but not on the real expert level or anything, just on basic shots, and starting to learn a little bit more ball control, keeping keeping the two object balls closer together so that it's easier to hit the cue ball into one and then hit the cue ball into the other. And there's some videos and things online of four ball where you'll see professionals how they're tapping, like they tap the one ball and hit the other ball, and they do that many times in a row. Some people I think have done it hundreds of times in a row to gain the points. And it's, I didn't get it before, but now I get it. The goal is to try to set up the balls in a way where you can be strategic and get points consecutively so that you can win. So I had the fortunate exposure to that. And the last time I was there, I was actually with my son, and we played competitive, him and I competitively against each other. And it was a fun game. It was difficult, but I do miss playing four ball in general. But if you have not checked out four ball, the game, and you're into billiards, or you like a challenging game, you like playing pocket billiards, or if you want to increase, I would say if you want to increase your skill even on a pocket billiard table, if you have the chance to find a four ball pool table that's at a pool hall or somewhere where you can play, I would recommend taking a look at the game, because I believe the skill required to earn points in that game and to move the ball around, the ball movement and positioning, it helps you to sharpen your skill set so that you can really start learning even more how to control the ball. Last thing I say is when I transition from that back into a regular, kind of like a regulation pool table with pocket billiards, I felt like some of the shots were a lot easier. Still, pocket billiards is not easy. You have to have a strategy to try to run the table and try to break out the problems and try to get the ball around the table. It's not easy to do anyway. But after having played four ball, it felt like some of the shots were very native and the difficult shots became a lot easier. So I recommend you take a look and try it out for yourself. All right? Bye-bye.